Streaming now, this is the Wood TV Live Desk.
And good afternoon, everyone. Phil Penarski here with the Wood TV Live Desk. Hope you're having a great day so far. Consumers Energy is looking to hand out $500,000 to Michigan nonprofit organizations as part of this year's Planet Awards, which are selected for organizations who they deem are making a difference on the environmental front. And registration is now open to apply to potentially be nominated for one of these Planet Awards. Joining us today is Tracy Wimmer with Consumers Energy. Tracy, thank you so much for being here today.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Of course, I'm very excited to talk about the Planet Awards. It is the annual Planet Awards. You guys are handing them out every year. $500,000 to one or multiple different organizations that are really making strides in the environmental front of things. Talk to us about really the goal behind announcing these Planet Awards and gifting these people these kinds of grant money.
Yeah, so the Planet Awards are one of 3 signature grant periods that we have with the Consumers Energy Foundation every year, and those grants total $1.5 million. And each round focuses on, our planet, the prosperity of Michigan's people, and the people itself, making sure that they have the economic security they need to thrive. And so this application round, like you said, for the Planet Awards focuses specifically on organizations that have big projects and big plans they want to tackle to improve the land, to improve the air, and to improve and protect the water quality here in Michigan.
And you mentioned that part of the main reason behind this goal is for putting that emphasis on putting the environment first in a lot of these different projects that companies and organizations are hosting. And has been this sort of swing over the past couple decades, really, of just focusing on the environment. How can we help? How can we limit emissions, and really just trying to, as you mentioned, put in the environment first. Is that sort of where the idea behind the Planet Awards first came from?
Yeah, I think it's part of it is that as a company, Consumers Energy has some very aggressive clean energy goals ourselves. And those were led independently by us. 2 of the biggest being, that we want 8,000 megawatts of solar online by 2040, and we want to reduce our net emissions to 0. And those are really lofty goals that we're making good progress toward, but we also recognize that there's more we can do. And so that's where the foundation comes in, which is the charitable giving wing of the organization. And focusing on, in a state where natural resources and protecting them are such a critical part of not only maintaining, the economic security of our state, but frankly, the beauty, why we love living in Michigan. Giving back using these grants and making sure that organizations who are on the ground doing the work to protect our green spaces, to ensure that native species are thriving, that's really critical. And so that's why we have these awards every year, to make sure that not only are we able to give a significant amount of funding to organizations to tackle these projects, but that we're really seeing a diversity. Every year there's such different projects, and the winners, end up having so many different types of projects out there focusing on different aspects of protecting our environment. And that's really wonderful to see.
Tracy, I kind of want to switch gears now. As I mentioned earlier, the registration is now open for people to send in their letters of intent to potentially be selected for one of the Planet Awards. All that information can be found right now over on our website, woodtv.com, as well. People have until February 9th to do so. What are some of the organizations you're looking at, some of the projects that they have to put forward? How is the selection process working for you guys?
Yeah, so obviously the biggest is that they need to be a registered nonprofit, a 501c3. But beyond that, we really are looking for organizations that are approaching these issues with creativity, that are engaging community stakeholders that are really experts in their field, and that they're tackling a variety of projects, right? We have organizations that we've gifted grants to in the past that have been doing everything from, like I said, restoring natural green space in the city of Flint. That was one of the winners last year, to, doing controlled burns in places where it's important that they're for diversity of species and protecting wildlife. And that was the other organization that won last year, the Nature Conservancy of Michigan. And so that's all to say that we're really looking at organizations that, like I said, are experts in their field, are focusing on making a tangible impact, and are committed to doing this work over the long term.
And just kind of, again, still trying to give people as much information as possible if they are looking to submit applications for the Planet Awards. Tracy, is there any stipulation on this money? You mentioned the past year's winners and what they've been doing with their grant money. Is there any kind of stipulation as to what this money is intended to use, or is it really just for these companies to continue doing the work that they're doing?
So it does need to be for the specific projects that they apply for. And so every organization comes essentially with a plan. So the first round is, their letter of intent outlining the plan. And then the finalists that are selected from that round get an opportunity to explain in much greater detail exactly how they're going to use the funding, why they think that project is important, and what they think the measurable impacts of that project long-term will be. And so then we have a review team that looks over things and does a lot of the research to make sure that everything that the plans are everything presented in the plans is truly manageable, and then final determinations are made about who will receive the funding.
And Tracy, kind of wrapping up here, we do appreciate you stopping by the live desk to really explain the Planet Awards and let everybody know that people can now start applying for them. But I guess, what is your hope for these awards? What do you hope that not only consumers is getting out of having all these organizations give them ideas of what's going on really across the state, but also what do you hope these organizations get out of being able to present these different projects to a company like Consumers Energy and potentially win this grant money?
Yeah. So obviously we want to be helping organizations as much as we can. And the reality is, while, these two signature grants, which usually it's to two organizations for $250,000 each, those are not the only ones we end up doing, because it's really hard to pick, right? So you mentioned the exposure, but I think the biggest thing is it always brings to the table every year so many different things that, maybe we didn't even realize were issues, or, it's really just educational as much as anything else to let us know about the good work that's being done about all kinds of organizations. And even if an organization doesn't win the Planet Award or doesn't win this particular round, there are always other opportunities. We are always giving out grant dollars, in other ways, even smaller amounts. And so it really is a chance for them to talk about the work they're doing, what they're passionate about, the impact they think they're going to have, and it keeps them on our radar long term as we're looking at really at organizations that we know are doing important work to protect our environment here in the state.
All right, fantastic stuff. Tracy, thank you so much for stopping by the live desk today. I want to quick remind everybody one last time that all of the information regarding the Planet Awards can be found right now over on our website, woodtv.com. Our Facebook audience can also find a link to that web article right now. Just head on over to the description box or the comments section. Tracy, one last time, thank you so much for stopping by the live desk today. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, and I want to thank everybody else for tuning into this latest edition of the Wood TV Live Desk. I'm Phil Penarski, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.